Hi, Evgeny. Have you signed in the KHL yet? Hey, hockey fans and Edmonton Oilers fans, how are you guys doing? I know, I've got yet another video, and you know what? This one's going to be a little bit wild based off the title that you see at the bottom of the screen. I'd like to welcome you guys into another episode of the Rush Podcast. Today, I'm going to go back into being a little bit crazy because it's summer and there's really nothing else to talk about, and well, you know what? I'm just browsing through social media, and I see out of the thin blue sky that there are still teams that are interested in one Evgeny Kuznetsov. And I thought, why not put on my Fantasy Cap GM hat, something right here, helmet, if you guys would like, and propose potentially signing a very prolific center to the Edmonton Oilers. Now, there is no guarantee that this would ever happen. This is all speculation. This is just my opinion and throwing it randomly out there. Or maybe I got too much sun. I have no idea, because for all purposes, we've heard that Kuznetsov will be signing in the KHL, hence why he was bought out and sent out to he was waived for the condition of being bought out by the Carolina Hurricanes, and there was the intention that he would go somewhere else and play in the KHL. However, by scrolling through social media, I noticed that he had teams that were still interested. Now, I don't know what teams are interested, and frankly, I could care less if there are any teams that are interested. It would be kind of cool to see him still in the NHL because I think he's a pretty good player. But in today's video, we're going to talk about how Kuznetsov could potentially fit on the Edmonton Oilers, cap money aside. I know the Oilers are over the cap. But if the Oilers ship out CC, Evander Kane goes on LTIR, we find some money, maybe Kuznetsov could take a pay cut to potentially take the Oilers to the Stanley Cup final again and even win it. So before we get started, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. And don't forget to share out the video and let people know what we're talking about. I always welcome every comment, good or bad, because you know what? At the end of the day, we're just having an armchair GM conversation. Before we get into the conversation, let's take a look at Evgeny Kuznetsov's kind of career where he started. He was drafted 26th overall by the Washington Capitals in the 2010 NHL draft. He's had a pretty stellar career, and he is notably a Stanley Cup champion. He did it with the Capitals in 2018. Now, there are some off-ice issues with Kuznetsov, some issues that I can't talk about here on YouTube, but you guys as hockey fans should know it, and there's no way to avoid that. But as hockey fans, we cannot deny how skilled of a player he really is. For example, let's take a look at how he's fared with his time here in the NHL. Over 743 games played, he's amassed 575 points. In the last two seasons, Carolina, he played 20 games with them and scored 7 points. And prior to that, with the Washington Capitals, he hit 17 points. Yes, those 2 years were down years, but prior to that, he's had 55, 78, and 29, and 52 and 72. So there are times where he has down years, but there are times where he has up years. I think having him still potentially be a contributor offensively is kind of like a guarantee. He's still a pretty good player, and he's a very young player. Well, not too young, but he's young enough to be able to fit into the kind of Oilers system. So now let's talk about where he would fit in the Oilers roster. Completely cap aside, I know there's cap issues. We've got to figure it out. Like I said before, this is a complete pipe dream, and there's no way in anything I can think of. I don't want to say anything bad on YouTube, but there's no way I could feasibly see that this would work, but I'm just doing this for the heck of it. So feel free to drop your comments on me going back to fantasy GMing or playing NHL, which I do play NHL, by the way. So yes, on NHL, it could potentially work. So you trolls out there, feel free to let me know that I should go back to NHL. I'm totally fine with it because it's actually a really good game. Now, looking at the lineup that the Edmonton Oilers have and where Kuznetsov could fit in if the cap dollars worked, take a look at this roster. Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Zach Hyman would still have that top line spot. Leon Draisaitl, Jeff Skinner, and Victor Arvidsson would be on the second line. And then Evander Kane, Kuznetsov, and Holloway on the third line. And then Adam Henrique, Matthias Janmark, Connor Brown would round out that fourth line. That would give the Oilers a dangerous set of scoring lines, 3 dangerous scoring lines to be precise, and it would take some pressure off of McDavid and off of Draisaitl. This would be really helpful for the long playoff runs, and it will allow the Oilers to have a little bit more of a balanced attack. Now, his experience and his skills would be a boost, obviously, to this team offensive production, and he can be the dynamic player that can create something out of actually nothing that exists, because he has amazing vision. He has amazing playmaking ability. And I think he would be a huge asset come playoff time, because the Oilers obviously want to make the playoffs again, and they want to get those 2 goals that they missed out to get the Stanley Cup. Now, it would also allow for Chris Knoblauch to be able to look at this Oilers roster and really maneuver and have a good first power play unit and a really strong second power play unit. For all of you who know, the Oilers set records, and we're having a historical run with not only their with their power play performance, but also their penalty kill. You add Kuznetsov to that, I think that would be an amazing combination of offensive skill. So now, with him in the lineup, the chances that the Oilers make a deep playoff run are definitely high up, and I think they would have a very successful run throughout the season as well. Frankly, I think this would be a good idea. Now, with any new signing, obviously there's going to be issues, and we have to worry about the cap dollars, and we have to worry about who's going out, who's playing where, how much ice time everybody gets, but frankly, I think this is just a really cool pipe dream to have. The last video I had, where I had a pipe dream, people were commenting, oh, Patrick Laine in Edmonton, I don't think that would ever happen. Like I said, I don't think that would ever happen. But it never hurts to dream as an NHL fan. Especially being a fan of the Oilers, I like to dream about potential players that could be on the Oilers rosters. And for those of you who disagree, I think I've heard some of you guys say Sidney Crosby on a different team, in a different jersey. Hey, if Sidney Crosby could be potentially on a different team in a different jersey in some fantasy world, then why could Kuznetsov not be on the Edmonton Oilers, right? So those are my opinions. That's what I think. I don't know. Like I said, there's no truth to this. There's no actual rumors to this. There's no speculation of this actually happening. But if there was ever a chance that he decided to actually stay in the NHL and not go back to the KHL and wanted to win a championship, then maybe he could win another one with the Edmonton Oilers, who are right there. They're on the doorstep. So let me know, Oilers fans, what do you think? Does Evgeny Kuznetsov fit with the Oilers? Could he make the Oilers better? Does he satisfy the missing piece that the Oilers are looking for in terms of a deep playoff run? Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Am I on the mark with this one? Have I thought about something? Have I cooked up something? Or is just me going back to NHL? But don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button and let me know. I'll see you guys on the next video.